Lance Archer. Hey, bud.
Where do you want me?
Let's just sit right here. All right, man. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, man.
It's quite a night, huh?
That's an understatement.
Yeah. I noticed the undershirt you wore in Brodie's honor, and he just meant so much to us. And it's you obviously knew him a lot longer than I did, but I did a podcast with him like 2 days before he got sick.
Right.
He sent out a message about how much he loved the podcast, loved working with us, and he was just a wonderful man behind the scenes.
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing about my relationship with Brodie was that I think both of us have known each other in the business for about as long as we've both been in the business.
Sure.
Because we're big guys, and big
Right.
guys are always, compared to each other in one way or another. And he did stuff in Japan, and, I did stuff in Japan. And then, I was in WWE for a short moment, and then he was there, and everything that we did was kind of in passing.
Sure.
So it was one of those things where, again, we knew each other, we knew about each other. We've seen the styles, similar moves, just a lot of similarities.
Sure.
For two bigger, I guess, I'd like to believe, athletic guys.
Sure.
And it wasn't until literally we got to AEW together, and we were signed about the same time. I debuted before he did,
right.
But we were both like right on the same cusp.
Sure.
And so that was, I think, the first real time that I got to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
And we would talk periodically, but again, I didn't know him like a lot of people around here
Sure,
did.
right.
And, it's one of those things, he influenced everyone that I ever saw him ever around.
Right.
It was one of those things, like he always had a smile on his face, and it was an infectious smile. It was one of those smiles, like he smiled and you couldn't help but smile.
Right. Yeah.
And everybody around him was always smiling, and I know we got to talk together one real time. There's a bunch of times that we would have small conversations and in passing and in the hallways and in the backstage and stuff like that. But, there's one time here we actually shared a locker room, and it was just him and I. And I remember we talked about Japan. We talked about, everywhere we'd been in the business.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things, again, because we've been in passing so many different times that it was kind of cool just to talk. And I know like right after I finished my series with Cody, it was asked, who would you like to work with? And first guy I said was Brodie.
Right.
Obviously there were different plans set in place for
Sure.
him and then myself or whatever right after that. But he was somebody that I wanted to work with. And I remember we talked about it, and he was actually really excited about it, just for the prospect of having, again, two large athletic dudes who'd never faced each other ever before in this business. That was one of the things that brought me to AEW, was all the opportunities with different people that, again, I've been around the business with, but I never actually got to work with.
Right.
And he was absolutely one of those guys.
Sure.
So, the emotion that I think happened tonight, just everybody, and this is just, if you watch the show tonight, you saw the little bit of a tribute that I could do for him. And,
right.
For this whole thing, there's been a lot of positive, feedback on the internet and Twitter and stuff like that right now. But the one thing that meant the most to me was Amanda came to me afterwards backstage, and she goes, I had no idea. And she was like, this is amazing. And I think she said she cried. And it was one of those things, like I walked by her a couple times, but she's so focused on just keeping it together.
Being strong for her kids. Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so I walked by her, and I told her, I was like, I walked by you like 2 times, like in full with, the bandanas on and everything.
Right.
And she's like, I had no idea until I walked out, in front of everybody.
Right.
Sorry.
That's all right. I can move this around. Yeah. But, it was a heartbreaking night, but it was in many ways a wonderful night, a wonderful celebration of his career. And I'll say it again, what a wonderful group of people we have here, don't we? It's just really is amazing.
Yeah, it's hard to describe. I think, you've been around the business as long as you have, and it's a business.
Right.
It's a business.
That's right.
There's times when things happen and it's just about business. It's about money. It's about this. And the one thing that, especially in this situation, that I've just noticed with what Tony and the family has done for Brodie,
right,
leading into this situation, it was kept very privately until the unfortunate passing. And I think that's an amazing thing in this day and age of professional wrestling, for, everyone kept it private. And it's a family aspect.
That's right.
That's not something that normally happens.
No, it never happens in this business.
For as long as it went on, too.
Right.
We know how long it was going on.
Sure we do.
Nobody else did. And I think that's the one thing that you can't explain it to anybody that's watching from the outside looking in, the family aspect that this company has. And like I said, everything that Tony has done for Brodie, leading up to his unfortunate passing, to what he's doing right now for Amanda and Brodie Lee Jr.,
right,
and what he's going to continue doing for that family. And that makes me, as just an employee,
right,
feel so much happier to be a part of this company. And I
right,
told Tony, I was like, you make me happy to be here.
Right.
If for no other reason, if I never touch that ring again,
mm-hmm,
just what he has done for Brodie's family,
right,
makes me proud,
right,
to be a part of AEW. And I'm not blowing smoke up anybody's butt.
Right.
Right.
It's authentic.
That's absolutely real. That's I could care less if I ever wrestle again, because as long as I'm a part of this company, I'm so happy to be a part of it because of everything he's doing.
Well, we appreciate you, buddy, and appreciate those comments. Really do.
Yeah.
You're a hell of a talent, buddy.
Thank you, man.
All right. Tough night.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah.
I hope everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm sure I enjoyed it. We won't forget it.
And we just got a good speech from one of our talents. I'll leave his name out of it. He said not to leave the I love yous. I love you, brother.
Okay. All right. I love you too. Lance Archer. And that's kind of like the way we're feeling right now. I'm going to get over on this side and let people come in from the right here and try to be a cameraman and audio person. Thanks to Lance Archer.